Welcome to Redeemer Lutheran Church. I'm Pastor Gary Lodeholt. This week, we're reprising articles I wrote for the Crossroads newsletter for the month of January in previous years. This one was in 2016, just after my oldest son, Michael, got married to Christy. Jesus came by today. I almost missed him. I almost said there was no room in the inn. I almost was too busy to meet him. Those are the things that usually get in the way for most of us. I was back in the fellowship hall preparing for my son's wedding with the rest of my family. We had stopped for a bite of lunch, and suddenly Debbie came in and told me that there was someone up front who wanted to talk to a pastor. Well, she and I both knew what that meant. Most of the time, when people come by for help, we give them food. But every now and again, someone comes by and wants to talk to a pastor. And that typically means that they want more than food. That typically means that they want money. We typically don't give out money. And there are many reasons why. We don't have any guarantee for how they will use it. We don't want to be inundated with requests. The little bit we can give most often won't solve their crisis or their problem, etc. And here, so close to the interstate, we get lots of requests to pay for people's hotel rooms. These requests are just beyond our means, and so we don't tend to do that. At least not very often. But Jesus came by. I looked at Debbie with exhausted eyes from all that we had been doing, and she said, "I can take care of it." But I said, "No, I'll come." And I got up and headed to the front of the church. Debbie told me she was putting some food together for him from the pantry. So I found him in the narthex, and I listened as he told me his story. He and his family were living with someone, but they were flooded out, and all of them had to leave. He had been working as a landscaper, but that job had come to an end, which was not unexpected at this time of year. They were living in a local hotel, but were down to their last $15. He had gotten a call from a man with a job, and he had an all-day bus pass and was on his way there. He said, "I know I can get this job. I know I can pass a drug test and a background check. I have kept myself clean from all of that." And of course, what he needed was some money. We typically don't hand out money. I told him to wait just a moment while I went to see what I could do. Something was telling me that this case was different. In the office, I thought about it a moment, reached into my wallet, and pulled out some money. I also got a $25 KJ's card someone had given me. I went back out to him and sat beside him while Debbie watched from inside the office. "I want to tell you two things," I said. "First, we don't give out money." And here's where the first special thing happened. He looked down, disappointed, and said, "I understand." Now, frankly, that response is unusual. Often people who come for help can be somewhat aggressive trying to get what they can. But this guy simply accepted what I said. So then I said, "But I want you to know that I believe in you. I believe in you, and I want to give you this money. And second, someone gave me this $25 card over at KJ's next door, and you can use it to get things for your family too." He jumped to his feet, and I stood up. And quick as a wink, he had enveloped me in a great big hug. "Oh, Pastor," he said, "thank you, thank you." He spoke with obvious emotion and relief. And then he sort of half turned as if he didn't know what to do, and then said, I'll do it right here." And right there in the narthex, he knelt down on the floor by the bench and began to pray. He thanked God for this moment and for this church, for me, for the fact that someone believed in him and was going to give him this chance. It was beautiful and heartfelt. Finally, he said, "Amen." And I said, "Amen." And as he got up, I looked into the office, and Debbie was staring out with huge eyes. All this typically doesn't happen. He shook my hand. I wished him luck. I told him again that I believed in him, and I did. And he told me he wasn't going to let me down. Then he said, "I'm not going to let God down either." And off he went. Jesus came by today. For Jesus tells us that when we have cared for and helped the least of his children, we have cared for and helped him. Thanks for stopping by, Lord. You gave me a blessing. Thanks for watching, and remember to let this day belong to God.